Yeah.
Sir, good morning, but your voice is somewhat breaking.
Is it my voice is breaking?
Yeah, your voice is loud.
Yeah, 31 number चाहिए आजू 31 number चाहिए
Guys, please mute. Sagar, can you just mute yourself? Guys, my voice is breaking.
अच्छी
Okay.
ये बंदे सर्विस ही होते हैं बंदना
Sagar, can you mute? It's still breaking. Can someone confirm?
No, now it's
No,
better.
no. Voice is clear.
Voice is clear, right? Good. Very good morning to everyone. Just give me one more minute. We'll start. Okay. All right. Can you just let me know your name who joined with the iPhone and one joined with the OnePlus? Would be great for me while doing the introduction. May I know? Hello? Who joined with the OnePlus? May I know your name, please? Hello? Your voice is not coming. Who joined with the OnePlus? Hello? Please rename yourself. And who joined with the iPhone? I believe iPhone is okay. All right. Thanks, guys, for joining the session. OnePlus. May I know your name, please? Let me mute him. OnePlus, just put in chat your name because you have a lot of background noise. If you're able to say your name, just put in chat because you have a lot of disturbance. Let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible to everyone, right? You guys are able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
So the lab, how we get this lab?
Yeah, you'll get it. I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
Okay. Okay.
I'll tell you each and everything.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. So we'll discuss the lab part. Okay. Meanwhile, let me start. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys, for joining the session. And once again, welcome you all in the session. And today we are starting this Palo Alto Firewall. So I'll just have a discussion based on some basic concept of the firewalls, and later we'll discuss about the what module we are going to cover. But yes, today we are going to discuss some fundamental concept, and those fundamental concept are basically going to align with today's agenda. Why network security is critical today? That we will try to explore. Why do we need a firewall? That's the second thing we'll try to explore, right? Third, we'll try to understand firewall demonstration. So I have the very latest firewall available with me, and that latest firewall is like we have the Rahul. Can you mute yourself, please? Guys who not speaking, please mute yourself. It's my request. So we'll try to understand the latest version of the firewall, that is the 11.2.3.h3. We'll try to see the latest feature, what all feature available in the Palo Alto firewall, and I'll try to just demonstrate if time allow the different tabs also, just for the overview point of view. Later we'll do the deep dive as well, and we'll try to understand certifications roadmap and career growth and salary expectation after this course, and why you should enroll this firewall course today. and what that all kind of the career opportunity, career advancement, career growth you are going to get in the future. So we'll try to explore these all topics today. In addition of that, any question if you have in your mind, that is also going to be most welcome to have a discussion. Okay. So I hope you all understand, right? And I'm not going to discuss the course content today because we'll have a series of discussion in upcoming sessions because it's going to be regular session from the Saturday, Sunday. So this class is going to happen Saturday, Sunday, and the timing would be 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. IST. Okay, this is the class timing. So we'll have almost 4+ hour learning, almost 5 hours, sometime 4.5 hour learning for the every week. So we'll try to digest a lot of topics where we'll do the theoretical understanding, we'll do the practical understanding, and also we'll see how real-time firewall is going to allow blocks and traffic and some kind of the content inspection, virus, vulnerability, URL, cloud features, everything we'll explore. So let's start. So once again, welcome everyone. Today's session is all about that mastering of the Palo Alto Firewall and why we are going to learn this game changer firewall, which is a critical part to just secure our digital transformation. Any organization who is just trying to do the digital transformation and adopt the next generation networking. So that's why network security is going to very important, and this firewall is going to be a game changer. And in this agenda, we'll discuss the following topic, which I just explained. So let us start. The very first thing, why network security is a critical right now in today modern network security infrastructure, which is going to secure digital transformation. So we just have to understand few artifacts, right? That is very important. We have a scenario where we have a time, real time cyber threats and attacks. So do you guys know any idea? Sorry, I believe, let me, real time cyber threats and attacks. Do you guys know uh, how frequently cyber criminals are doing a victim for any company or any individuals? Any idea how frequently in a day across the globe? Anyone have any idea? So let me tell you, every 11 second, any company across the globe is going to fall under the cyber attack. Means it's going to become a victim by the cyber attackers. Means you can imagine, means every second, every 11 seconds, there are some cyber attacks are going to happen for the companies. So they are going to become a like victim. So it's a very challenging nowadays because cyber criminals are very smart nowadays. The way we are trying to protect our infrastructure, they are also increasing their knowledge level very high and high. So every 11 seconds they are doing the attack. And because of this attack, cyber crime costs reach, let me tell you the number, cyber crime cost, right? So to just reach annually cyber crime cost to just protect, or they're going to lose, company are going to lose that money almost 10.5 trillion USD, that is dollar, right? In 2024 and 2025. This is like something research paper, means every cyber criminals or might be the cyber crime cost, which is going to pay by the company because of this attacks, almost 10 plus trillion US dollars every year. And this number is getting increased day by day, right? So now it's a very challenge for the company because the attacks are happening in every seconds, every 11 seconds, and it's going to cost trillions of the dollars across the globe So what the challenges company have right now? So the main challenges for the company is basically they are losing the data. So the data breaches are basically happening, and the company are losing millions of their revenue. And the most important things, the company are losing the revenue, that is the cost is affecting, and the most important, their reputations, right? So let's suppose their reputations. Why reputations? Let's suppose I'm the data center company and I'm offering my data center services to the different company. So company are coming to me and hosting their infrastructures, might be their servers, might be their some kind of the applications, could be anything in my data center. And if my reputation is very down, my data center is not secure. So who is going to give a business? Nobody is going to give a business to me, because they think this company is like totally worthless. Because if I'm going to host my data in their organization, that company basically going to put in risk of my data, my any kind of the application, and it is going to breach anytime. So why should I put such kind of the my data in such kind of data center which is not very secure? So the reputation is also very important for any company. Guys, understand? So data breach, cost, and reputations, that all are very important. So even think like attacks are happening. That's the very important thing. Every 11-second attacks are happening. The cyber criminals are just destroying money for the trillions of dollars for the every year for the different company. And due to that, the company are losing their data, their money, and their reputation. So how we can protect that kind of the all issues, right? So that's why every day the demands are growing for the cyber security experts or network security experts, because we have the problems, right? So first we have to identify the problem, and based on that problem we should figure out the solutions. May I know your name, please, who joined with iPhone? You want to say something? Let me mute. So we have a problem. Network security is very critical today, and we have the different attack surface. We have the cyber criminals, and we have the different pain areas like data breach. We are losing the revenue, reputations. So to gain that all kind of the gap, or might be the loopholes, and bridge that loopholes area, we required cyber security experts, right? So we required basically network, let me put it here. Just give me 1 minute. So we required network security experts, or might be more appropriate, we are going to talk about cyber security experts. So this is the like person, and these are the actually engineers who basically going to help to mitigate those problems. So every organizations have their network infrastructure, their applications, their data center. They are globally hosted in different data centers, or might be their own data center. So who is going to responsible to protect such kind of the cyber criminals who is just doing the every 11-second attacks? They're extracting the money from you, and because of that you are losing the your reputation and your data. So that's the network security. That is a very top priority for the every company. So this is going to become very top priority for every company, because they have to protect their digital assets. And that's where your first defense is going to be your firewall. So in every organizations, if you have the routers, switches, servers, any other printers, laptop, IoT devices, Wi-Fi solution, could be anything. So if you really want to protect from the cyber criminals, that's the first defense is going to be required, and that's why the firewall is always going to be there, right? So that's why firewall is always going to be there, and firewall is going to give the very first defense, or might be the second level of defense, third level defense. It totally depends how advanced firewall you're using, what kind of feature of that firewall, what is the deployment mode of the firewall you're using. So basically, firewall is the very necessary thing for every organization. So that's why you have the huge job demand for firewall engineers. Because it's the firewall engineers are one who is just going to help to protect your network, security analyst, and SOC professional. Those are the person who basically going to protect your network. So firewall basically, how now understand how this firewall is going to work and which all vendors are just designing the firewall to protect your network. So we have a lot of vendors available in the market who have basically helped to protect your network. That's for sure. We are going to talk about the Palo Alto, which are discussing today. Similar, we have the FortiGate firewall. We have we have the Checkpoint firewall. We have Cisco ASA firewall. We have the Sophos firewall, right? And we have some more other firewall also available. But these are the top one, top two, and top three firewalls available in market. So in market, we have a lot of vendors available who providing the firewall solution. But you can just think about in market, we have a lot of mobile phones. But you always go with a branded mobile phone who are the very reliable, whose service is very good, their brand value is very good, and their performance is also very good. Means camera quality, durability, their processors, their other multitasking capabilities, uh, their battery lives. So based on that, you just decide which phone is better for me, and you're going to purchase that phone, which is going to help your all day-to-day requirement. Similarly, in a Palo Alto FortiGate checkpoint firewall, they are basically a next generation firewall. This next generation firewall basically going to help you to protect real time any kind of the packet which is going from user to the internet or any packet coming from the internet to the user machine. Means any transactions, any session is passing through your network, that firewall is going to inspect. So that's why the firewall is a very first defense, and that firewall is a security device that is help to monitor and control your any incoming traffic and outgoing traffic through your network. Means it is going to act as a security checkpoint between your internal LAN network, external your internet, or your any wider network where your packet is going to the internet. So it is going to act as a barrier, security checkpoint, who help you to just protect your any digital asset without checking. It is not going to allow to access anything. That's why firewall come in a picture. Is it clear? Any doubt till now? Anyone have? Anyone have anything in your mind?
No, no, no.
सर मेरा एक डाउट है
Yes, please go ahead.
सर इसके लिए सर्वर का नॉलेज होना जरूरी है
No, Amar, there is no knowledge of required for the server. देखो Palo Alto करने के लिए आपको सर्वर की कोई knowledge की जरूरत नहीं है आपको. So that's a good question. So let me little bit touch this. So guys, if you want to become the firewall engineer, right? So firewall, as I mentioned, it's itself with a new product, right? And who can do the firewalls? So basic requirement, you should have the basic networking knowledge. Means if you have the CCNA fundamentals, if you know basic CCNA, you are good to start with the firewalls, right? That is a prerequisite. So basic networking knowledge you should have, networking fundamental you have. You at least understand what is a router, what is switch, what is a VLAN, how to configure the static route and all. Then you are good for the firewall. Because in a firewall world, everything is going to be like configured in different way. So it is new for everyone. But yes, if you have the basic networking knowledge, you can easily grasp the concept. All right. So let's move further, right? So we understand the firewall. Firewall is the very first defense which is going to mitigate your problem, which I explained in the very first point, like why network security is critical today. Now moving further, if I ask, do you know how many types of firewall available in the market? Anyone have any idea? Types of firewall? Types of firewall?
So like stateful, stateless.
Stateless.
Yes, that's a very nice. Stateful, stateful versus stateless. Okay. Any other?
Next generation firewall.
Yes. Next generation firewall. And might be you going to find somewhere in the packet filter firewall, right?
Yes.
So this kind of the firewalls basically are going to find in the productions. So in a firewall, we have the very basic concept. Means let me just draw something so you can understand. Let's suppose this is your LAN network and this is your internet. So anything it's coming, right? So you have the one of the device sitting here, that is the firewall. And behind the firewall, we have the switch or might be different LAN is connected. So this is your internal network and this is your external network. Means from your company, whenever you're going to out, your firewall will first stop you and it will verify. Are you really a right user who want to go outside of your network? क्या आप सही user हो who really want to go outside of network? That is the very first thing. So it will stop you, and after stopping, it will check the packet information you trying to get out from your network. Means what is your source IP address? What is your destination IP address? What is your source port? What is your destination port? What application you are accessing? What content you are accessing? And might be it is going to check your source MAC, destination MAC as well. So in a packets, we have the multiple information. If you go and check the IP packets, so let's suppose this is my packet. So they have the source MAC, they have the destination MAC, they have the source IP address, they have the destination IP address, source port, destination port, we have the applications, some other field, and then finally you have the payload. That's the content. So this packet have a lot of information. The very first two information is layer 2 information. This is the layer 3 information. This is your layer 4 information. This is the layer 7 information, right? Aniket, can you please mute yourself? And that is your data, content, payload, right? So in a firewall, right? In a firewall, we have to inspect entire packet. Means whatever the information is going through, the firewall is going to inspect. Inspect means it is going to check each and every information which is available in your firewall. That means the packet which is received by the firewall. So if my source MAC is not allowed, destination MAC is not allowed, it is going to block it there. The IP is not allowed, it is going to block here. The ports are not going to allow, it is going to block here. The applications are not allowed, that is going to block here. If my any kind of the data means you trying to send the Excel file, you want to download Excel file, and might be you are not company saying Excel file cannot be sent, cannot be download. So that is also going to block. If any file, let's say you're trying to download some file from the internet, that file have the virus, that file have the vulnerability, that file have any kind of the malicious content. So the firewall having responsibility to check that, and it is going to make sure that is also going to be blocked at the firewall end only. It makes sense. So in all scenario, my firewall is going to inspect each and everything, and this type of firewall is known as your next generation firewall. Means a firewall who can inspect your entire packet information. That is known as your next generation firewall. Is it clear? What is your next generation firewall? Means in a packet, whatever the information I have, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, layer 7, content. It's everything should be checked by the firewall, and then only it is going to allow to go on the internet. Similarly, if any packet is coming from the internet, before it going to download inside of the LAN, it is going to check in everything. That's again a feature of the next generation firewall. Hers, you asking something? Please mute. Yes. So any question anyone have? In
So
a next,
Vishal, in that case, let's say if it is not blocking and a person is trying to transfer a large file and the slowness is occurring, what could be checked on the firewall end? I'm not talking about the server end. Server end, let's say everything is fine. How
see,
we can troubleshoot that?
slowness is something different use case can be happen for slowness troubleshooting. Okay. So slowness can be due to the multiple devices issue, right? Not only the firewall issue. So we have to troubleshoot from the origin of the packet. Let's suppose your PC is originating one of the packet, and then it is going to pass via the switch. Let's suppose there is a PC connected here, user PC. There is a switch, and then after switch we have the router, right? Then after router we have the firewall, right? Then we have the ISP network, and here you have the server access. So we have the very long path. So slowness, it not always a case my firewall is going to cause the slowness. It could be my machine itself is slow. My browser is not responding because my cache cookies are very full for PC side only. So I need to verify my very first thing, the PC health. Then I need to break down whether this hope is clear or not. My gateway, is it very fine? My gateway is okay or not? So I have to check my gateway reachability first, whether my packet is dropping, the interface connected my PC have any kind of the errors, runs, overruns, reliability issue. So I have to isolate this first part. If this is the okay, then I need to check my device health of the switch. Means sometime device of the switch, my CPU is very utilized, 99%. Do you guys think it's going to create a slowness? Yes, it is going to create a slowness. Make sense, guys? If my CPU device is very high, so my packet is going to be slow.
Yes.
So you have to check that also. Do you guys agree with me? Give me thumbs up.
So if the LAN side is also good because it's a direct connected PC with no errors, with cabling has been changed, everything is fine. What about from the next part?
So if my LAN is fine, then we have to go on the my router. Router is also, you're saying router is
There is
also
no,
fine?
let's say there is no router on the
Okay, so
on the branch.
you just saying the firewall. Now the packet line to the firewall, right? So firewall, you have to multiple way to verify the slowness, right? So there are the very first thing when you go for the firewall, right? I'll talk later, but let me just say we have the CPU utilization, right? We have the management and data plane CPU. Sometime what happened, my data plane CPU is 100%, 90% utilized, right? This is the most use case where the slowness is going to be happen because the data packet is slow. So you have to always check my system resource, my data plane is okay or not. This is the first thing you have to check. If it is all okay, then you have to go and check whether my connected link on my, let me see, a connected link on my ISP, that is fine or not. If it is all fine, then you have to check very next thing, the QS is configured on the particular policy, source and destination packet, which is going to process. Do you have any kind of rate limit configured? Means any bandwidth configuration, and that bandwidth is exceeding. So that is the third thing. If this is all good, that means your firewall is good. There is nothing more we can check. The first is health, my CPU, that is a fine. Then no, go next, check the bandwidth control. If this is also fine, there is any packet drop, no packet drop. So that means my firewall is just simply processing the packet. That's a simple thing. Then you have to move on next. Okay, Raman?
Okay, so in that case, let's say QoS was configured and the upload and download speed, let's say if it is a 100 Mbps link, so download was 100, upload was 10. Okay. When I removed that QoS policy, the synchronization was happening perfectly fine and the traffic was going pretty much good, or the file was getting transferred. So what could be the reason and how the QoS in that case comes up?
So if you're removing the QS, Raman, so that is a pipe is open, so there is no further blocking, right? So you just have to check. If there is no QS, that means you are just, getting all traffic without any control. So whatever the ISP is giving the link, that link, let's suppose your ISP link is 100 Mbps. So you can take a packet 100 Mbps and you can send the packet with the help of the 100 Mbps. So that should be under control only.
Yeah, sorry for the interruption. See here, both the QoS need to apply for even our router also, even the ISP side also. The QoS both are same only, you can able to get the proper features. If one hand you giving a QoS, other than not giving QoS, it will never help you. It will create a problem only.
Right. That's also one.
So let's say if there is no router, only the firewall and the ISP link. Now you're
Okay.
trying to say that on the firewall we are applying the QoS, so we are
So other side
expecting
also,
to apply
yeah,
the
ISP side
QoS.
also need to apply the QoS. Yes, obviously need to apply the QoS. If you're not applying, then QoS never come with the picture, right?
No, but let's say we are defining the traffic of different classes. We are dividing
Yes,
voice,
yes,
video, and bandwidth.
yes. So
And
same thing, ISP also need to deploy.
but ISP, I think I'm
Yes,
not
need to
quite, I'm
deploy.
not convinced actually.
Raman Ayappan, just hold on. Let me clarify. See, because we are now moving in a different direction. So I'm also routing switching like expert, like QS expert. So let me give some idea. We have two concepts, shaping and policing, right? You might be agree, right?
Correct.
So if you are applying the QS, that means on the firewall, that interface, which is connected to the ISP. So you have to shape your traffic based on your different class. Like voice, you have to set certain percentage of the traffic. Video, you have to set certain percentage of traffic. And then you have to set some critical data. So whatever traffic you're setting here, the ISP is just going to polish, that is restrict in nature of the bandwidth control. But if you want to do end-to-end marking, then you have to do the marking so that whatever the marking you're just sending, the ISP is just going to carry that marking also to just have to end-to-end marking. That marking is not going to be destroyed by the ISP. That is the one concept. But if you are configuring the QoS on the WAN link, that means you restricting certain amount of traffic that only should process by that particular interface. That's the simple meaning of the QoS. So in a Palo Alto Firewall, if I want to restrict the any application with the certain bandwidth, then those application is going to only work with the certain level of the speed. If that is going to exceed, then you're going to face a slowness. If you are just configuring that interface on the certain level of that particular bandwidth, then that link is going to receive and download or upload certain amount of traffic without exceeding that bandwidth. If that is going to exceed, then the slowness is going to happen. So that's a simple term of the QoS. Like QoS is just the arrangement to just balance the traffic which is going to under that particular defined bandwidth. Make sense?
Well, it would be conversation could go on, so probably you can just go
Yeah.
ahead with
So
the
definitely we'll discuss later in more detail, right? But let's first focus about the next generation firewall. So meanwhile, anyone have any kind of the question about the next generation firewall? Why this next generation firewall is here? Or is it good for everyone?
Sir, I have a question about the router, like why we are using the firewall. We can, like, if we want to restrict the traffic or if we want to control the traffic, so can we do by the router or not?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So Rahul is trying to ask why we need the router, means firewall. Can we do the all inspection via the router? The very simple answer, Rahul. See, as I mentioned in my packet, we have a lot of informations. You can see, means we have the layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, layer 7, and content. Router can only understand few things. Based on the layer 2, you can do the filtering. Layer 3, you can do the filtering, means MAC and IP, and some case for the layer 4. Not more than that. So if you want to inspect your application, router is incapable. If you want to inspect some URL, router is incapable. If you want to do content inspection, router is incapable. So you cannot do the real-time signature verifications, your payload verifications, your application verifications, your very advanced port level, even the layer 4 verifications. So that's why router is incapable here, but firewall can do the all inspection. Does it make sense, Rahul?
I think so.
Yes.
So one question I do have, so just a basic question. If we are saying source port or source IP, destination IP. So in the LAN side, let's say that it is 192.168. On the WAN side, it is 10. Which one would be the source?
Let me write it here. So WAN side is saying what IP?
10 range.
10.10.10. Let's suppose 10 on this IP, right?
Right. And on the LAN side, 192.168.
So let's suppose gateway is here. I just want to give 192.168. 10.1 is gateway. And this PC have the 192.168 10.10. Okay, because it's going to point the gateway. So my source IP is this one. Source IP is 192.168 10.10, and destination is your actual server IP. Might be this is 8.8.8.8. So this is your destination IP address. Okay, this is not going to be destination. The source is your machine where the packet is initiating, and destination to URL or server which you are accessing. That is your destination IP address. Clear?
And what about that in direction and out direction?
Means if your this client, this PC want to make communication with this server, so you have this packet. Let me draw here.
I think he asking inbound and outbound.
Yeah,
Right.
so this is your, if you're going from this PC to this direction, it's the outbound, right? You're going to in to out. But this server want to communicate with the PC, that is your inbound traffic. So the packet, this flow you're receiving, that's the inbound, and the packet you're sending out, that is the outbound traffic.
So in that case, if it's an inbound connection from out to in, right? So in that case, what would be the source?
That your this 8.8, because this is going to initiate.
So it totally depends upon the direction of the
Yes.
traffic.
Yes, definitely. It totally depends on direction of traffic.
In what case the rules are applied for the inbound connection where the source IP is 888? What is the scenario?
So, Raman, definitely we'll discuss all scenario, right? There are a lot of labs you can see. I will draw later. So
Okay.
because I can see there are a lot of new people.
Cannot be a part of first day.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. See, there are a lot of scenario we'll discuss here. So we have the very robust lab available, right? And we have a lot of scenario, right? So I'll explain which scenario the traffic is going from LAN to WAN, which scenario is going from WAN to LAN, and we have to do all testing, right? You can see from LAN to WAN, WAN to LAN, and between the different zone. So why such traffic flow is going to happen? We will do the very deep dive on it, but we just have to take, we have to wait for some time, then I'll explain each and everything. Okay. Shall I conclude this one if you allow, guys?
Right.
Yes. So let me conclude this one and then I'll move to the topic. I'll discuss the traffic flow also. Else I'll totally derail from the traffic. Basically the topic. Just give me 1 second. All right, guys. So now at least we understand the next generation firewall. Now let's focus about what is the stateful firewall and what is the stateless firewall. Anyone know what is a stateful firewall and what is a stateless firewall?
In stateful firewalls, there is, I think, one session table is configured. It's maintained actually firewall, one session table, where it's the source IP, then destination IP, source port, destination port, and protocol and source zone is mentioned. So
Okay.
that is called the stateful firewall. And for stateless, I think they are not maintaining any kind of table. Traffic is flow based on the policy only.
Okay. Very good. So let me draw again the firewall. So let's suppose this is my firewall. This is my switch. where my user is going to be connected here. This is my PC. And this is my internet. So this is my WAN and this is my LAN. So let's suppose I again server. Guys, please mute yourself. So let's suppose this is my server, right? This PC have the IP address 192.168.10.10/24. There is a gateway 192.168.10.1/24. Let's suppose this PC is going to initiate a traffic, right? This PC is going to initiate a traffic from that particular destination. So how the stateful and stateless going to work? So in a stateful firewall, what is going to happen? Very first time, let's suppose there is going to be one state table that is going to maintain one of the state table, which is also as a cassette table. So very first time, let's suppose you creating a one policy here. Policy is, you can think about the ACL. Everyone, I believe, have the basic understanding of the ACL. Do you guys know access control list? What access control list do? Anyone know about that? Anyone can just define what is ACL? So I can just little bit give the idea.
स्पेसिफिक जो है होस्ट को ब्लॉक कर सकते हैं और अलो कर सकते हैं, डिनाई कर सकते हैं.
Very nice. So basically ACL is the access control list, means based on the IP and port number, basically based on the layer 3 information and layer 4 informations, they can either allow some host to access any destination or can deny any host to access certain application. That is ACL. So ACL have a limitations. They can just understand layer 3, layer 4 information, and based on that, it is going to allow or it is going to block. But if we talk about the policy, policy is the big brother of the ACL. Means it is just limited for the layer 3 and layer 4. But if we talk about the policy, it can do more. Even layer 2 also here. It can do the layer 2 inspection, layer 3 inspection, layer 4 inspection, layer 7 inspection, some additional, right? And then your content. Means if you're going to use a policy, you are going to get more flavors. Means more data you can inspect. But in the ACLs, you have the very limited kind of the features. Means layer 2, layer 3, layer 4 inspection, you can do that. Inspection means you can just analyze the packet. And after analyzing, you can just take an action whether I want to allow, whether I want to block. Is it clear between difference of the policy and the ACL, guys? Everyone happy? What is the difference between policy and ACL?
Yes.
Okay. So now if I talk about the state table, what is going to happen? Let's suppose this is my user and this is destination. So what is going to happen? The packet is going to be created. This is my packet. This packet have two information. Just I'm demonstrating based on the source IP address and destination IP, no other information. So what is my source IP address? That is 192.168.10.10 and destination is going to be 8.8.8.8. So very first time when the packet is going to hit to this firewall is going to check whether this packet is allowed to go internet or it is deny. So it is going to check. So based on check, if it is found, this is going to be allowed. So simply process the packet and it will send to the destination. So this packet is going to reach to the destination if it is allowed. So very first time, this packet is going to inspect by the firewall based on your policy, because it's stateful, right? We're talking about the stateful. So that is going to maintain a policy, and that policy is going to check. And after checking the policy very first time, it will create a one state table and it will map that entry. And it will write allow. So this is going to create one state table, and that state table is going to get the entry, source IP, destination IP address, and it will going to write next to allow. So when the very first time the packet come, it will verify the policy, and after verifying the policy, it will go out, but at the same time, it will create the one of the state table. When the same packet is going to come again, it will not check the policy. If my state firewall is there, if the same packet is going to land again on the firewall, it will not check the policy. It will simply check the state table and it is going to process the packet. So your processing is going to very fast. Did you get the difference? The working principle of the stateful firewall means any new packet is going to come very first time to the firewall. It will always going to check the policy, but once the packet is going to be processed, it is going to create a state table. The very next packet is going to come. It will always check the state table directly and the packet will go out. That's the simple principle of the stateful firewall.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes,
Hello.
please.
Yeah, how to check that this packet is same packet or not?
We have the command. We have the command. There is a command, might be we cannot do right away, but there is a command from CLI you can check for the firewall. Let me try to show you. SSH. We do not have any traffic, so probably I'll not show you, but let me show you the command. So I'm in the CLI of the firewall, right? So if you want to check the state table,
Okay.
so there is a command, show session all. So there is no active session because we do not have traffic. So it is going to show you all the state tables available in the session list. Okay, Harsh?
Okay.
There is a
Okay.
command. I'll show you when we start the alert.
Okay.
No, but let's say if there is in a production traffic, so if the firewall is in production, is it safe to run this command?
Yes,
So
yes,
session all.
it is the completely safe command.
And
This
do we
session-
need, if we need to filter it out, any particular IP or
Yes,
match?
yes, we have the filter also. Match anything you want to match, you just put the match and put the IP, blah blah, it is going to match any IP. So you can just have the pipe and you can just match. See, match syntax is there. So anything you want to match, you just put the match. Let's suppose 1.1. You're just going to give the IP, that information.
Could you just try to ping the 111 IP?
Sorry.
And could you just try to ping the IP and generate a session?
See, this firewall is not a production. This is a demo firewall. So this is just a firewall. There is no LAN and WAN connectivity. This is just a demo firewall. We have to do on these firewalls in this lab. This lab is not started. I just have the demo firewall to just showcase you the firewall dashboard only. So probably you have to wait for the next session when we'll do. I'll show each and everything because we will build the very new firewall from the scratch. Okay. So I will just deploy the very brand new firewall and will configure from the console, GUI access, everything I will do that. And then I'll show you the live traffic as well, Raman. So you have to wait for a while.
Yeah, hi Vishal.
Yes, Chandu.
Yeah, how much time this session will be active? Like, is there any time limit for any session? Like,
Definitely, this session is going to happen 10 to 12:30 every Saturday and Sunday. So
no, I'm asking about
Talking
this
about the
firewall
session.
traffic session.
Oh,
How much
firewall
time?
traffic session. Okay, okay. So this session have a timeline. Yes, definitely there is a timeline. Let me show you. So just go in the session. Okay. So default, you can see if you talk about the TCP session, that is 3600 seconds session timeout, right?
Okay.
And if you have the handshake, the session is going to be 10 seconds. So by default, if TCP session is going to be your 3600 seconds, that's the going to be happen.
Okay. Can we change the default values if required?
Yes,
Like
you
as
can change.
any
You
time?
can change. Go here and change it. If you want to make like Python, you can just do it.
Okay.
You can do that.
In what scenarios this default session is changed?
See, that is not recommended, right? To change, maybe the default. But if you really want to make a session very long period of time, it's unnecessary going to create a burden of the firewalls. But you can just extend. But I have never seen people are extending the sessions. But you can extend the session or might be minimize the session time. But unnecessary, if you're going to minimize, your session is going to build again, extending, then your cache is going to very long period of time. So it's totally up to you. For the security reason, you just always stay for 3600 seconds. So that after 3600 seconds, if session is ideal, that is going to be timeout.
Yeah, like how many concurrent sessions firewall will process?
So that's totally depend on the model of the firewall. That concurrent connection is totally depend on the model of the firewalls. So if you have the very small firewalls, that small firewalls have the very less concurrence connection. You can see 8300 new session per second. See here, that is the limit. But if this is very, sorry, this one is a small firewall, 64,000 max session, or you can just do 4200 new session per second. That's the small range of the firewall. But if you go for the higher range of the firewall, you can see there are 246 times 0 max session and 7,20,000 new session per second. So you have to read the data set which firewall you are referring. So there is no fixed number for the all firewall. It depends on your capacity of the firewall, and is just based on the data you can refer that. Clear?
So let's say if there's an attack on the system on the network and the sessions is too high, which generates too many sessions. And most of it, the sessions were in half sessions instead of full. So is that possible to just make any configuration changes?
Definitely, that's known as a DOS attack. Okay.
Right.
If there is a DOS attack, your firewall have the capability to protect that DOS attack. So we will learn how that DOS attack is going to be protected and how this configuration is going to have. I'll show the demo, live demo, how DOS is going to be happen. So in our lab, we have the Kali Linux machine. This is going to do live vulnerability attack, live DOS attack. I will show how the live TCP UDP DOS is going to be attack on the firewall, and the same scenario you're talking, and then how firewall is going to protect those DOS attacks. So we'll see in real scenario. But if you want to configure that DOS, you just have to go here, and DOS protection profile you have to configure from here. Based on there's two type, means the sync flood is TCP, UDP, ICMP, ICMP v6, other IP, aggregated, and the classified. I'll explain what is aggregated, what is classified later. And once you create this DOS, go in the policy, and here you can create the DOS protection policy. And based on that, it is going to protect any kind of the DOS attack is going to happen for the any side of the traffic which is coming from LAN to WAN or WAN to LAN or within the LAN network. So we'll discuss later on.
The lab which you are showing, are we going to get an access during this?
Yes, definitely. These all labs are going to get access. Everything which I'm showing right now, like side-to-side VPN, global product, like we have the user ID, active passive, active. So everything are going to get the lab access.
The Panorama?
Panorama also is there, right? You can see Panorama is also there. So you're also going to get that lab access. Okay, let's move further. Shall we move next?
Yes,
so now you guys understand what is the stateful. Clear? Now let me just clear this diagram. Now we have to understand the stateless firewall. So let me draw again the same firewall. This is again my switch. This is my PC. This is my internet. So again, I have the scenario. We have the server 8.8, and this is my IP 192.168.10.10/24. So now this time we are talking about the stateless firewall, right? So a stateless firewall is what is going to happen in this stateless firewall. There is no policy. They are going to maintain the ACL. Stateful is going to maintain your policy. So ACL having very limitations. They can just do inspection for layer 2, layer 3, and layer 4. So based on that three informations, they are anytime packet is going to come to this firewall, it is just going to check ACL and then it is going to send to the destination. Again, the new packet is going to come, it is going to check ACL and it is going to send to the destination. Again, the packet is going to come, it is going to check the ACL and going to send to a destination. So every time when I have the stateful firewall, stateless firewall, that firewall is always going to check the ACLs, and after checking the ACL, it is going to send to a destination. That is the stateless firewall. and they have the limitations. Just do the inspection for the layer 2, layer 3, and layer 4 of the packets. That's a simple definition of the stateless firewall. Clear? Stateful have the more capability, stateless have the very less capability. So that's why these firewalls are not using nowadays. Every firewall are the next generation firewall, and next generation firewall is always going to be your stateful firewall, and which is using everywhere nowadays. Everywhere means any firewall you're going to talk, Cisco ASA, Palo, right, FortiGate, Checkpoint, they all are the next generation firewall, and these firewall are basically stateful firewall. Clear? Similarly, if I talk about the packet filtering firewall, this again similar to the stateless firewall, just do the very packet level thinking. Basically, they can just do your layer 2, layer 3 inspection, not more than that. But in next generation firewall, they have the not only the inspection of the full packet, they are also having the ML, that is a machine learning plus AI, artificial intelligence. So they even your policy is configured, right? And you have very sophisticated license you have taken from the firewall vendors like Palo Alto. We have the wildfire 0-day attack preventions. We have the feature. So your AI ML is going to come in a picture. Even your policy is saying this traffic need to be allowed, this need to be blocked. And AI ML is thinking something different. So they will guide you. They will report that particular traffic pattern is bad or good for your network. So that is going to help you to detect the threat in real time, might be which is not available to protect right in the firewall, but AI ML is going to help you to just generate the new signatures. So that also we discuss. So in Palo Alto,
So is there any specific software or tool has to be integrated?
You have to take a license, wildfire feature license. There is no software need to be installed, but in Palo Alto Firewall, if you're just taking the Palo Alto Firewall, you just have to go and you just have to work on the licensing part. You just have to pay to the company, and company going to give you the subscription. So right now there is no license showing. So we have a lot of license. I'll show you later on. So in this licenses, you are going to take wildfire license, threat prevention license, URL filtering license, and too many licenses are there. You can just have to take the licenses, and that licenses is going to give the real-time sandbox connectivity tools that is available in the Palo Alto network, and that is going to give you the real-time preventions.
So apart from AI and ML, if I need to improve any operations point of view, any reporting, what all things can be done on the firewall?
So there is a concept known as the AI ops, right?
Okay.
Palo Alto AI ops. That is for the basically operation point of view. So this is going to help you to real-time detection, and it's very good tool available already in dashboard that is known as the ACC, Application Command Center. So this application command center is basically based on the AI that is going to analyze your all traffic and all activity which is happening for your network. So being operation guys, if you want to just get more information about your traffic, your data, your any URL, any kind of the applications, how they be having, there is a threats, there is a block activity, tunnel activity, global protect point, SSL activity. So these all are going to be available. You can filter, and this is going to give the very interactive report. You can just figure it out. I'll show you later because we have a dummy firewall, no configurations. So that is also possible. Right, Raman? So we'll discuss. But yes, the AI ops is already integrated. SSC command center is already there. So moving next, right? And let's conclude, right? So we are talking about the next generation firewall, right? And that's the Palo Alto. So this Palo Alto next generation firewall is very powerful firewall. And we have to understand why it's very powerful and very unique firewall. So very first thing, this firewall is industry leading NextGen firewall. Second, this is going to provide zero trust security features. The third things, they are having the machine learning, ML, and AI features, right? And the very fourth, they are in the best in class for deep packet inspections and sandboxing. So let's decode one by one. So I believe you guys understand what does means next generation firewall. Next generation firewall means leading, means one of the best firewall. This firewall and FortiGate firewall are the amazing firewall only available in the industry, and you should learn about it. If you are going to learn either FortiGate or the Palo Alto, there is a high probability you are going to get very good career growth because they have a lot of demand, and both are almost same. Sometime Palo Alto is going to top in the market, sometime FortiGate. Almost they are same. But still, Palo Alto have the very good brand reputations as compared to the FortiGate in terms of the many area like the support, reliability, the hardware stability. That's all make more powerful than FortiGate. So industry leading next generation firewall, zero trust security. Anyone know what that means? Zero trust security feature. Any idea what does mean zero trust security feature? Anyone?
Instant protection for any vulnerability or for any attack.
No trust to anyone.
Yes, no trust to anyone. That's more appropriate. No trust to anyone. All right. Any other? So see, guys, zero trust means that's very simple. Do not trust to anyone. Means let's suppose you have the family members, right? And you make a rule. If my family member is going to out from the house, and if they want to again come in, they have to always show their identity while going out or in. Means you make a door system, and door system is going to detect your might be fingerprint or some 6-digit password, and after putting that password he is going to be out. If he is not able to put that password, then he is not going to be out. He is not going to put the password, he is not going to be come in. So even they are the family member, but you just make a rule. So that means similarly in zero trust model, what is going to be happen? The firewall is not going to trust to anyone, even the LAN user. That might looks very LAN users are always going to be very reliable users because I'm from the LAN, but still you are not allowed to access any LAN applications, LAN computers. You have to prove identity every time. So zero trust means if you are accessing any single transitions, you are going to do that. Always you have to prove your identity. If you are not going to prove identity, you are not going to allow that for the application, for the URL, for the any internal kind of the connectivity. So anything, printer, any wireless access, you have to prove that. Machine AI learning, just now we discussed. And base class, that is for the base class, deep packet inspection and sandboxing. So deep packet inspection means whatever the packet information I have. So I draw the packet information that was the base on the source IP, destination IP, source port, destination port. That was there are multiple information, application, content, everything in the packet. So everything is going to be deeply checked by your Palo Alto firewall. And after that, if required to have a real-time analysis, so sandboxing is also available. So you have to take the license, like the wildfire is there. So I'll discuss what is the wildfire. It will do the 0-day like analysis from the wildfire servers. And that is also going to help with the help of the ML and AI to just access your packet, and they will just give the analysis whether this packet is right or wrong, and they will just allow or might be the block. So this is how it is going to be happen. So is it clear, guys? I hope you guys understand about this all roadmap.
So why Palo Alto would be used when in case SASE technology is over there? Because people have been replacing Palo Alto firewalls on all branch locations to a SASE.
So Raman, if might be how many aware about the SASE? How many you all are aware of SASE? Chalo, theek hai. Let it be. So Raman is asking about SASE solution. So see, this is the trending technology in the market, that is a SASE. SASE is a framework, not a particular technology. SASE is going to include multiple features, right? To become a one holistic and very robust feature. That SASE have the your SD-WAN. That's the one. The SASE have the GTNA. The SASE have the firewall as a service, right? The SASE have a secure web gateway, right? And the SASE have a CASB, the cloud access security broker. So you have the multiple component, and if you are going to use all together, then your network is known as the SASE solution network. So if you want to build your SASE, so SASE provider, we have a lot of vendors. Might be first very leading vendor is a Zscaler. Second, we have the Prisma Access by Palo, right? We have the NetSpoke. We have the Versa. We have the Carto. We have the Cisco as well. So a lot of vendors are available, right? So every vendor, they provide a SASE solution, but their framework, their architecture is going to be same. They are going to leverage these all components together to make a network your SASE. So now, if you want to build your network SASE, then your firewall must be there. Let's talk about the Prisma Palo Alto. Still, Raman, Prisma SASE use your firewalls in your every branch data center location. It could be your hardware firewall or might be the software firewall. That's why firewall is a services. So if you go here, let me show you the SASE solution of the Palo Alto. So this is a product you are talking about, the Prisma Access, Secure Access Services. So this firewall is service, secure web gateway, zero trust network access, and SD-WAN. These all are there. So even you want to become a SASE engineer, you should have the firewall knowledge. These firewall is still going to be there. You have to create a policy. You have to do the URL filtering. You have to do the zero trust networking. You have to do the wildfire integration. You have to do the content ID inspection. You have to do the user ID inspection. You have to do the application identification. So everything is going to be required. So if you don't know this firewall and you're just going for the SASE, you are going to be struggle. Make sense?
Correct.
All right. So I believe, guys, I wanted to cover as per agendas. So let's conclude it here. I am not able to do all agenda today because we are already over the time. So at least we understand some basic concept. I'll just demonstrate few things from the Palo Alto Firewall, but definitely in next session we'll discuss about the career roadmap, certification roadmap, and also I'll discuss about the
सर
course.
ये कितने घंटे का डेली कोर्स रहेगा सर?
Sorry?
कितने घंटे का डेली कोर्स रहेगा सर?
अच्छा अमित जी, ये
तो क्लास
कोर्स
कितने घंटे का रहेगा सर?
हाँ, ये कोर्स अभी हम जैसे आज हमारा फर्स्ट क्लास है, सो आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू टॉक 2 hours, राइट? सो बेसिकली नेक्स्ट सेशन, नेक्स्ट सैटरडे से हम इसको एटलीस्ट 2 hours का सेशन करेंगे हम, 10 to 12 तो फिक्स है, बट इट कुड बी दिस इज अ टाइम 12:30 PM IST.
ओके, वीकली 2 days होगा ना सर?
यस, वीकली, दैट इज अ सैटरडे एंड संडे.
ओके, संडे.
यस.
If a person would like to have a
Amit, just hold on, Raman. Amit, what duration? This is going to be like almost weekend, 2 months a month. Chalo, it is going to run.
So Vishal, if a person would like to have a boot camp for 4 or 5 days, would it be possible?
Boot camp of 4 and 5 days. So yeah, it is possible. There is no problem. So boot camp is also possible. So probably we can talk offline. Who is your counselor? From where you get the numbers, right? To this Zoom, just reach out to him or her, and probably we can connect and we can discuss about the boot camp. Okay, there is a possible. We have keep doing the boot camps as well.
Could you just provide the certification overview? What all certification is there instead of next class? Just a 2 minutes overview.
Yeah, definitely. Certifications after okay, I'll talk. Any other questions, guys, regarding the class?
Sir, if it possible
Yeah,
to
hi
start
Vishal.
at 9 o'clock?
Sorry, let me take Anthony. Yes, Anthony, please go first.
Sir, is it possible to start at the 9 o'clock, 9 a.m.?
Anthony, the timing is fixed for 10. So please,
So
man.
other classes would be recorded?
Yes, all classes going to record it. Recording is a lifetime for everyone.
Oh, so you start with the fixed time also, 10 a.m.?
Yes, 10 a.m. for 9 fix. We'll see later if can be manipulated after everyone consent, okay? But for time being, we'll start by 10 and we'll take a consent. If everyone is ready for 9, I don't have any issue. I can start. So let's formalize the batch by next week and then we can have the proper discussion. We'll have a closed sessions and then we'll have a discussion and we'll decide.
Certifications, Vishal.
Yes, Susil, please.
Yeah, and it would be covered, I think, PCNSA and
Yes.
PCNSE, right?
Let me show the certification. So there is two certifications, right? You can easily crack after this course, the PCNSA and PCNSE. So this is not recommended to do because there is no prerequisite to do for the PCNSE. So you can just skip this exam. You can directly go and appear with PCNSE exam. That is a Palo Alto Network Certified Network Security Engineer. That is the cost of the exam is 175 US dollar. So you can directly give this exam and then you are going to be certified. So both course is going to be completely covered during the sessions.
And
So
for
is there any
validity?
advanced course also for Palo Alto for, let's say, for troubleshooting and panorama?
Yes. So Raman, your scenario will discuss separately, okay? And then we'll talk like what exactly you have requirement. So accordingly, we'll have the boot camp. But this is the certification we'll cover during the sessions, okay?
Okay.
The certification validation?
Certification validity, it's going to be 3 years, right?
3 years,
And
okay.
yeah, that is going to be renewed after just taking the re-exam or might be other certifications.
Oh, okay.
So Vishal, do you have any dumps or how to perform this one? Any dumps?
So dumps is basically we do not encourage for the dumps, but yes, we have the question samples, right? Let me show you. So if you want to prepare, so I can give you the hold on exam. There is some question sample I can give. Yeah, see here, let me show you.
Okay.
So that is going to be.
So year is 2021.
Just hold on. Let me show you. So there are some question samples you can see. So
Okay.
probably we can provide and you can just refer like how it is going to be. You can just do the practice.
Okay. How much time, the exam timing?
It's a 90-minute.
19 minutes.
Yes.
19 minutes, sir.
Yes, 90 minutes.
90.
Oh,
90,
90.
90,
Okay.
90, 90.
Okay.
And even if from the book also, every versions, if you're going to do that, let's suppose you just doing this, you're going to find some questions in the book, ebook also. So from there, you can just do the practice. So I'll show you that. So there is a question answer also, it is going to be available. Might be the every section or might be certification, you can go down and you're going to find that. So I'll show you that. So there is in book also, there is a multiple sample questions available, or I'll give the, sample question. You can just go through that and you can just read about how the exam question is going to be there.
So is there any way, are you getting the certification also done?
No. We not work on that. You just have to book your exam. We can just guide, right? And you have to book your exam. You can just do your learning and you have to clear your self exam. Okay. Sorry for that.
So let's say if you have provided this lab and if we need to make any modifications or we need to add another 2 firewalls, let's say, taking an example, can we do that or is it fixed?
It definitely is. Let's suppose you have this lab, but first of all, why you need a 4 firewall? That's I need to understand because maximum you can
Let's
get
say,
there.
let's say if there is an Azure with 2 regions, each region having 2 instances.
So I understand you can do that. There's no problem. You can device node, you can add it. But Azure deployment you cannot do in this particular lab. This is the local data center hosted labs. Okay. So you have to build everything in here only. So Azure you cannot simulate. Azure you
No,
require.
I was just taking an example. So I was just trying
Yeah.
to.
So In that case, see, this is a HA firewall. See, there is a lot of all devices are connected here. So every topology you can do here. But if you want to add, let's suppose you want to add in any other firewalls, any other devices, you can add. Just have to do this, right click, node, and these nodes are available. Just click it and you can just add the firewall. So your firewall is there, you just make the another connectivity. It is possible. It's not like it's not possible. You can do that. And if you
So
have
what
any
is the password? The firewall, the demo lab.
sorry,
What is the password, sir? What's the password in the lab?
password,
The firewall
I'll share everything in next class, password and everything. Okay, Anthony? Or might be
Okay, fine.
to get because you already
Once you
enrolled.
register.
Yeah.
So that means, sir, we can customize the lab as well according to ourselves.
So this lab topology is going to be access for everyone, right? In this lab, I would not say do any customization because this is already very detailed lab available. But if you want to add any devices, you can add it. There is no problem. You can just
So
add the devices within the same lab and you can just do any manipulations if you want.
another question is, let's say if we are in a batch of 20 people, 20 people would be having an access to the same lab, right? So
Right.
let's say one person is making the configuration. Would it conflict?
No,
So
no conflict. Everyone have their separate user ID, right? So if you just log out, you have your own user ID and different racks are going to be there. Might be are going to be same rack, but the config is going to be identical for everyone. It is not going to conflict at all.
there would be different instances, right?
Yes, different instances for everyone.
And we would be getting the required recordings in advance for previous classes, so that if we need to scale it
So
up
once
fast.
the class has happened today, let's suppose this class has happened today, you are going to get recording by today end of the day because it's a cloud recording based on the Zoom. So it take time to just complete the recording because sometimes 2 hours recording. So it's process for the 4 to 5 hours to complete the recording. So once the team is going to download and it is going to upload in your portal. So you can just access, might be by day of the end or might be the next day in the morning.
Let's say if we need to build a lab itself from the scratch, okay? So let's say talking about EVNG software, Palo Alto software, license. So what configuration of the laptop or desktop has to be
So
to
if you
make all this?
if you want to build a lab on your PC, so for that, I would recommend at least you should have the 64 GB RAM, right? Along with at least you have the 16V CPU. Minimum, I should say you should require to run Palo Alto 2 firewall in that. If you want to build a lab.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if we need to add
Sorry.
other tools like Cisco ICE or some other Active Directory, something like that, that would be increasing, right?
Yes, that is going to, in its run, you have to, I would say, just buy the servers. So you can just go and purchase the servers with at least 128 GB RAM. PC is not going to help. A laptop is not
How
going
much
to.
that would cost? 128 GB RAM?
So if you're going for the 128 GB RAM, right? And you're going at least 24 core, right? And gold processor, it is going to cost around 7 to 8 lakh, 6 to 8 lakh. You just have to check. But
And what about having a GCP instance or a AWS instance?
you can do that, but you have to pay as you go or might be the subscription. So it's going to be very costly. If you're going to run, you're going to lose a lot of money. If you're going to run 24/7, you have to lose a lot of money. So
Vishal, can we use this laptop after our training session also? So it will be charged, how the things will be.
yeah, you can use a lab, right? So by default, lab is going to be there. If training is going to be, the minimum lab duration is 2 months, right?
Okay.
So 2 months, there is a labs are going to be there anyhow. After trainings, if you need a lab extensions, so you just reach out to your counselors. They will guide you for the recharge, how to do that, and then you can take extensions. Monthly basis, you can just take that, or might be you want to take for 3 months, so you can find some better deal. You just have to work with the counselors. They will help you.
Okay.
And what are the trainings you are covering apart from Palo Alto?
So trainings basically for myself, Palo Alto, we have a lot of trainers here. So Palo Alto, FortiGate, Zscaler, that's my key portfolio in the security, plus Cisco SD-WAN, plus Versa SD-WAN.
So are you taking Versa also?
Yes, RNS, that's routing switching CCNN, CCNP. Right, so these are the, in RNS, this is security, F5 add-ons, WLC, that's going
सर
to
जी स्केलर का लाइव क्लासेस अवेलेबल है या सिर्फ रिकॉर्डेड सेशंस अवेलेबल
this live is not available because lab constant we have, so lab is not there. So I'll just have a session this week only, Zscaler. So we'll have one career counseling session for the Zscaler latest update. I'll share. So I'll update how it is going to be look like if you really want to do lab.
Sir, do we have also wireless classes from your side, like
Yes,
Cisco
definitely it is going to
robot?
start very soon. Just wait for 1 month. It is going to be start. Wireless is
Yeah,
in
deep
progress.
down also we can start, sir, like from a scratch to end, like there is no end of any technology, but yeah, we can say deep down also because everyone familiar with the scratch, right? So we can start from a scratch to deep down. Then I will also
Definitely.
join.
Noted, Abhishek, your feedback.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay, so I believe we are good, guys. Can we conclude if no further questions?
Yeah, that 40 and certificate. So any basic certificate need to do earlier for doing this PSC NSE certificate?
No certification is required. You just directly go that for the PCNSA, PCNSC.
Okay. So you refer some books, right? So can you share this book detail?
Definitely. So we have the ebooks available. So that's ebooks is for you all only. So 9.0, 10.0, Panorama, right? Some PCNSA, PCNSC study guide. So we all share that. Along with that, we have some kind of lab document that is also going to be shared. Lab guides are there, right?
Okay.
And along with that, we have the very good troubleshooting commands as well. So you are going to get all CLI commands, right? How to do the troubleshooting. So because there are a lot of CLI command, that's not going to use a lot, but you are going to get this CLI command, lot of troubleshooting tools we means e-documents we have that I'm going to share this all, so you can just refer to do the real-time troubleshooting as well.
Okay, sure.
सर मेरा एक डाउट है.
यस अमर बताइए.
सर जैसे कि अभी नेटवर्क इंजीनियर बनने के लिए तो क्या क्या सीखना पड़ता है, जैसे कि सीसीएनए फायरवॉल एनफ होगा या सीसीएनपी एंटरप्राइजेस और एनआरसी सीखना पड़ेगा?
Can you just repeat again your questions? I break something in between.
You have to learn each and everything step by step.
Okay.
So I understand you're talking about CCNA plus CCNP you're talking, right?
Yeah, yes.
So see, देखो, if you want to become either routing switching engineer or might be the firewall engineer, or even you want to become the SASE engineer, that is a very advanced, right? The very first prerequisite, you have the basic networking fundamental. For that, you always have to do the CCNA. This is my first recommendation. If you're doing the CCNA, you're going for the routing, switching, firewall, SASE, or cloud, it is going to very helpful for you. Even if going for cyber security, it is going to very helpful for you. So start with CCNA. If you're going to learn CCNP and then firewalls, it is going to be give a lot of career opportunities, because routing, switching plus firewall is a very good combination. So go step by step.
Okay. Sir, what about the next class, sir? What do you cover, sir? What the subject you cover?
So next class, what will start in next class? Basically, this I will just discuss the official outline of the course content, right? So still I didn't discuss today. So I will discuss what all the content we are going to cover. And in that context, we will basically start with the initial configuration of the firewalls. So I will just demonstrate very brand new firewall. I have the physical firewall also. I'll try to see if I can make the live video based trainings, how to do the physical firewall configuration. If it is not possible, I will try to do virtual firewall demonstration, how it is going to done, the console, GUI access, we'll just build from the scratch. So we have the one of the lab, you can see the day 0 lab. So on that day 0 lab, I will do the configuration step by step. Means how you can do the very scratch configuration of brand new firewall. So we have this lab, day 0 pause. So let's suppose you have the very brand new firewall to firewall, you want to do a configuration. So what is your approach? That we have to understand. What is CLI approach? What is GUI approach? What are the different even ports available on the firewalls? That we have to understand. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. And it was really wonderful discussion. I really enjoy a lot. I hope you too enjoy and you gain something from me. Okay. And I hope we'll meet in the next session. I will continue from here. All right.
So Vishal, is there any number where I can reach you?
So just do one thing. If you have guys any query, just reach. So you can just reach out this number. I'll connect. Okay. If you have any specific doubt, just reach out this number. I'll connect.
Give me a second. Could you just what is the number? Sorry,
It's 9289682701.
Give me a second. Just let me note it down. 9289
682701.
2701. Okay, thank you.
Just ask on that number you want to talk with Mr. Vishal, so they will just connect with me. Okay.
Okay.
So Vishal, one more thing. Sorry to interrupt you. So you're saying that you're telling the labs, right? So after finishing our class, lab is will access 24/7, right?
So lab is going to be 24/7 available.
Okay.
Lab.
So the particular time would be available, or whatever time if you.
No, it's going to be available 24/7. You can do anytime. It's your lab.
Okay,
It's not like there is no time restrictions. You can do anytime. The lab is going to be on 24/7. Proper data center we have. Okay. Don't worry about that. That DC is 24 running and we are paying a lot of money. So you can do your labs. Yeah, there is a maintenance. Sometimes disruption is going to happen because some people just, on the devices, left the devices, turn on as it is. So that's, kill a lot of resources. So we just, clear the resources. We just reset the servers. So there is a dedicated, like server support team, means the lab support people. So they just do that reset, and then after the lab is going to be reset, and you can just start enjoying your lab.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great Sunday and see you in the next class. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you.